The American Revolution wasn't won only on the battlefield. It was won in parlors and market stalls, in whispered conversations and hidden messages, by people no one suspected. In December of 1777, a Quaker housewife named Lydia Darragh was hosting British officers in her Philadelphia home. The British had requisitioned her back room for meetings, apparently unconcerned about the woman, going about her household duties on the other side of the wall. They should have been. Lydia was listening when she overheard plans for a surprise attack on Washington's forces at White Marsh, Pennsylvania. She didn't hesitate. She left her home on the pretense of collecting flour, passed through British lines, and got word to the Continental Army. Washington was ready. The British found troops waiting for them. Not the easy slaughter they had planned. A housewife had changed the course of an engagement, and no one in that meeting room ever knew. Lydia Darragh wasn't alone. Across occupied cities and towns, women were doing something the British never anticipated: paying attention. Market sellers, domestic servants, and maids, women whose presence in British households was so routine, so unremarkable, that officers spoke freely around them. They shouldn't have. These women were listening to every word, cataloguing troop movements, supply routes, and plans, then passing what they knew to patriot contacts. The British Empire's greatest vulnerability wasn't its supply lines. It was the assumption that certain people simply weren't worth watching. But perhaps the most alarming secret of the revolution predates the Declaration of Independence itself. In 1776, a secret committee uncovered a plot to assassinate George Washington, the future first president, the commander holding the Continental Army together, the man whose leadership was, at that moment, arguably the revolution itself. The plot was dismantled. Washington survived. But, for a moment, a very real, very dangerous moment, the entire American experiment came down to whether a conspiracy could be uncovered in time. It was. Just. History remembers the generals and the battles, the declarations and the defeats. But the revolution was also kept alive by a housewife with her ear to a wall, by women in market stalls who knew how to listen, and by a committee that found a knife before it could find its target. The most important intelligence asset of the war was the person no one thought to suspect: